Did you know that Anthropic is now valued at $380 billion, bigger than the combined value of India's top IT giants? And the reason is very simple. Claude is no longer just a chatbot. With Opus 4.6, scheduled tasks, skills, plugins, MCP, remote control features, and all of the integrations that they've launched, Claude has quietly become a full ecosystem. In this video, we will simplify all of it and show you exactly how to use these major updates without getting overwhelmed. So folks, there are two ways to use Claude. One is that you open up your browser and go to claude.ai, and the other is downloading their desktop app. My recommendation to you would be to get the desktop app because the features, the speed, the overall efficiency is way better. Now, before we deep dive into the technical aspects, I want to first make you understand that why exactly is the world going so crazy behind Claude? Because earlier it was OpenAI, then Gemini took all the attention, and now Claude is taking all the attention. If I were to go to my settings panel here, you will see this option called connectors. So firstly, Claude is now allowing you to get their intelligence inside of applications that you use on a daily basis. At the forefront, you have Google Calendar, Google Drive, all of these basic things. But if I go to browse connectors, they have application connectivity across different departments. So if I go to financial services, if I go to sales marketing, you have your CRM tools, Stripe, you have Zoom Info, you have Moody's, you have literally every popular tool out here in the world of sales and finance. If I just go ahead and select design and development, you will see that Claude can now enter Miro, Figma, Canva. And when I say enter, I mean that Claude can now get access to your tools and perform actions for you. So there is a 3-level cake that I want to explain you. Claude is an intelligent model, but if you want to use Claude, you have to text again and again by going to the Claude app. By using connectors, which is your fundamental layer, you can now have Claude access your applications. Once you have done your connectors, the second part that they have created is called skills. So when I go to chat, and let's just say I select new chat, if you go to the plus option, you have all of these small options. So if you go to connectors, you can have access to all of your connectors. If I create a certain framework of how you need to use these connectors, that is called a skill. So one skill example could be that, hey, go to my Gmail, read all of the emails, figure out who wants to schedule a meeting with me, go to my Google Calendar and do that. So it is a skill that Claude has learned on its own. Once you have created your skills, you can put these skills under an umbrella. That umbrella is called plugins. So let me show you what that means. If I go here into the settings panel, if you go to capabilities, what they've done is they've moved skills to customize. So this is a list of all the small things that my Claude can do. These are capabilities. These are documented capabilities. Now my Claude can achieve these skills through my connectors. So if I have created a skill that go to GitHub, make a list of updates, then schedule a meeting with my developers using Google Calendar, and then maybe, take a screenshot and upload on Google Drive. These applications are connectors. Skills is a documentation of what Claude needs to do. And here in my plugins panel, you can put multiple skills together for a specific department. So if I go here to the plus icon, you can see the browse plugins option. So these are categorized skills for a certain department. So if I go here to say product management, and if I click on install, you will see that this product management can now use multiple skills and connectors to get your job done. In future, you'll probably have an organization which has a finance plugin, a product plugin, an HR plugin. Each of these plugins will have individual commands, connectors, and skills. Now, understanding this is extremely important because in future, a lot of your work is going to be about setting the right directions, creating workflows, creating systems, and also validating what AI gives you. So now that this basic theory is done, I'll have Roha come on stage to actually show you the step-by-step process of how these things are created.
So to get started, open your desktop application, and on the left side, you can see that you have a customize option. Click on that customize option and you'll find your skills and connectors. If I click on connectors, I get all my connectors. You can add connectors by clicking on this plus icon and then clicking on browse connectors. You can find all your connectors or even find them via categories. I have code, communication, data, design, event development, and financial services. If I click on financial services, you can see that I have Stripe, S&P Global, Ramp, even PitchBook Premium. And I would suggest you to get started with basic connectors like Gmail, Google Calendar, and Slack. You also have a Claude in Chrome extension which you can set up while going to your Chrome. This enables Claude to expand its capability in Chrome, which means that it can then surf the web. And adding these connectors is a simple login into your applications. For example, if I again click on these browse connectors and I want to connect my Canva, I'll simply click on this Canva and I get the option to connect. I'll click on connect and this will prompt me to log in into my Canva account. I'll click on continue with Google and then choose my account. And then I'll click on allow. And now it says that the authorization was successful and I have connected my Canva account with my Claude account. And you can see that in my connectors, I now get Canva, which means that Claude can now interact with my Canva account, create designs, and even fetch designs. Now, after you have done setting up your connectors, there's another important concept called skills. So skills are nothing but reusable instructions. These are like SOPs for your agents. These are repetitive tasks or a set of instructions that your agent or Claude has to follow. And you can see that we have following examples. These are the skills created by the Anthropic itself. You have algorithmic art, brand guidelines, canvas design, doc authoring, internal comms, and even MCP builders. MCP's Model Context Protocol will be covering MCP in detail later in this video. So for each skill, if you watch closely, there's a edit by section, which is Anthropic. There's a description for that particular skill, and then you start with a name. You have name and then the description of that skill. Now it always includes workflows, all the connectors that it can use, and all the steps that it has to follow while executing. And not only this, if you want to create a skill for your own organization or for your own personal use case, you can click on this add button and select create with Claude option. You can even write your skill instructions or even upload a skill. Now there's thousands of templates available publicly on web in which people have created different types of skills that you can directly import into your Claude account. And these skills are not only restricted to Claude, but you can also use them in any other agentic platform. So I'll click on create with Claude. Let's create a simple skill of writing a LinkedIn post. So it says, let's create a skill together. Using your skill creator skill, first ask me what the skill should do. And then I'll write, I want to create a LinkedIn post skill. And now my Claude will help me create a skill for myself, which means that you don't have to write JSON or even YAML by yourself. And if you watch closely, it's using its own skill called skill creator. And now it's asking me, what should the LinkedIn post help you to do? Write posts from scratch, rewrite or improve existing posts, or even both. I'll choose write posts from scratch. And then it asks me, what's your typical posting style or goal? And I'll say personal storytelling. And then I'll choose one polished post. And that's it. So the best thing about Claude is that it asks you a question first and then create those skills. And it says how long should a post typically be? I'll say short and punchy, which is under 300 words. What industry or niche are you in? I'll say tech. Any specific LinkedIn post elements? I'll say strong opening hook. And I'll click on send. And if you watch on the right side, you have a progress, working folder, as well as context. And now it has created the to-dos for itself. It says write the LinkedIn post, run test cases, and even package and deliver the final skill. And now it's writing skill.md file, which is the main file that includes all the instructions, workflows, etc. for your skill. Now till it's been created, let me show you what people have been building with Claude Code, Cowork, and with all these new updates. So Brock has been using scheduled tasks and Claude plugins to convert his YouTube videos into LinkedIn posts. And then we have World of AI, which has been using remote control to operate Claude Code from his mobile phone. We will also be covering what is this remote control later in this video. And then we also have Nater, who has been using Claude Code skills to create Excel diagrams. And then we have Icor with Tom, who has been using Claude Cowork and Claude Code along with skills and plugin to scan his inbox and even create a detailed report of all the AI trends and news. So Claude has been going crazy in the last 1 month with all the new updates. Now let's see if our skill is ready. It was just asking me for the confirmation of final package of skills, and I wrote package. And now you can see that my LinkedIn post is ready. I can click on copy to your skills or even open in Claude. I'll click on copy to your skills so that I can use this LinkedIn post skill. It says copied. I'll click on open in Claude. I'll click on allow. And now you can see that this is the description of my skill. You have core philosophy, you have the hook, the story, and much more. I'll click on add to library and I'll click on upload and replace. And now inside my skills, I have my LinkedIn post. And if I want to use it, I can directly go to my prompt box and say, use the LinkedIn post skill for creating a new post on Claude, and I'll click on let's go. And you can see on the right side in the context, we have a LinkedIn post skill, which means that it's now using my skill. It also says that what angle would you like to take? I will say Claude as a product or tool, and it gives me my LinkedIn post. And you can always iterate on your skill, add more commands, add more instructions, and even add more connectors. So this is how you create a new skill in Claude. Now, apart from this, if you see on the left side, Claude has recently launched this new update called Scheduled. This will help you automate your day-to-day tasks. So if I click on this new task, I can define a name and description along with a prompt, model, as well as the folder that I want it to work on. And if I don't want to define all this, I can simply go to my prompt box and type in /schedule. And now I can type in my prompt. I will say create a scheduled task that runs at 10 a.m. daily and researches about latest AI tools and trends, and then creates a document of it and send me on my email, which is I'll type in a demo email devicemc1@gmail.com. So now, since I have already connected my Gmail account, it already knows how to create a document. I have also enabled the Claude in Chrome extension, so this will probably work. The best part is now it will work every day at 10 a.m. and I'll get a detailed document of all the trends and news. I'll click on let's go. So using this schedule method, you can connect your skills, connectors, and then automate your day-to-day task. Before this, we had to manually do it on tools like N10 or Make, but now you can do it inside Claude only. It's asking for my confirmation. I'll click on schedule, and it has also given it a name, says Daily AI Trends Digest. And now you can see that it says that it will run tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can also trigger it manually anytime from the scheduled section in the sidebar. So if I go to the schedule section and I'll click on this and say run now. And you can anytime change these instructions as well. I can click on view, and now you can see on the right side I have my progress, my working folder, as well as my context. It's using web research as well as daily AI trends digest. And now you can see that it says that it has enough research and now it's creating a document out of it. And now you can see that it's now asking for my permission. I'll click on allow, and now you can see the document that it has created for us. It says top AI news, which covers Anthropic as well. OpenAI introduces ChatGPT lockdown mode, Google Lyria 3, WordPress AI Assistant, OpenAI Codex, and much more. Now, if I show you my mail, in my draft, I have created this email. Now, since I have not given Claude permission to send the mail directly, it has created a draft for me. It says top AI news. You can see that it is properly formatted. And imagine if you get this every day at 10 a.m. and you get all the news, all the trends, and you know what's going on in the AI or in your industry. Now, apart from this, Claude has also introduced something known as plugins. Now, these plugins are collections of skills and connectors for specific departments and industries. You can directly access plugins from this plus icon and then clicking on this plugin button. You can click on this add plugin and you'll see all the plugins that we have in our system. Now, these are all the plugins created by Anthropic and partners, but you can also create your own plugins, which means the workflows that your company follows, and create a plugin that can be shared across your teams, and then they can use that plugin for their day-to-day tasks. So you have plugin for productivity, enterprise search, sales, finance, data, legal, etc. You also have a plugin for marketing. Now, if I click on this install button, I can see that my plugin was installed. And if I click on this marketing again, you can see that there are definitions, questions that we can ask, all the commands. Now these commands are shortcut that I can directly write in my prompt box. I can simply say /brand review, and this will enable me to do a brand review using this marketing plugin. I also have skills. So this particular marketing plugin uses following skills. Now if you want to see what these skills have instructions and workflows individually, you can directly go to marketing and then skills, and you can see all the instructions. So these are all the instructions created by Claude itself that you can directly use, which means that now you don't have to create plugins or skills for marketing by yourself. And along with this, if you also want to create or modify this according to your business, you can directly click on this edit button, customize this with Claude, give information about your business, and now you can use this marketing plugin for your own team. This is a complete game changer in this agentic space. And now Claude knows what instructions it needs to follow, what are the workflows for your company or even for your industry. Now let me show you how you can use these commands in Claude. If I go back and then simply type in / And now I'm getting all my plugins, commands, and connectors. Inside my plugins, I can choose marketing, and inside my marketing, I can use campaign plan. And then I can choose launch a new product or feature and click on let's go. And it's the same again. On the right side, you get progress, working folder, and context. And in between, you are using your marketing plugin for better analysis. Now it's asking me some additional questions. I'll select drive signups, B2B, and 2 to 4 weeks, and then small budget. So by asking these questions, Claude is increasing the context for your particular problem. Now it will draft a better response for you using these questions and answers. But now imagine this campaign plan according to your business. Once you have edited this plugin and then using it for your own business, you'll get a complete campaign plan for your own requirement or product launch. And now it has started creating this for me. And this is only one of the plugins that Claude offers. You can create your own plugin or even click on this add button, go to plugins, and then choose from any one of these. Once you have this legal plugin, you can analyze your documents, review your NDA tracks, compliances, workflows, and lot more. And I don't think that plugins will replace any kind of human work. It will only increase the productivity. And apart from this, if you click on any of these tools, and apart from this, if you go to manage your plugins, you can see on the left side, if I click on marketing, I can also select my connectors, which means that I have already connected Slack, Canva, Google Calendar, Gmail, but I can also connect HubSpot, Figma, Notion, SimilarWeb, which are the required connectors for this plugin to work properly. So it's advised to choose commands, connectors, and skills based on your preferences. So now you know how connectors work, how skills work, and how plugins work. We also understood how scheduled task works inside Claude app. And we were doing all this inside Cowork. But Claude also has another feature called Claude Code. This is different from Claude Cowork. So Cowork is mainly for non-technical people and enabling Claude to be used by people who work on their desktop application or Claude in their day-to-day life. But Claude Code is mainly for developers. It enables you to perform coding, security scans, and even review your GitHub PRs. For those who don't know, GitHub is a collection of all the coding files that you keep on cloud. Now you can either use Claude Code using this app only, or you can also install Claude Code on your terminal. Let me show you how you can install it on your terminal. So if I go to my browser and type in Claude Code download, and now I only need to copy this code, open my terminal, and then paste it. This will help me install Claude Code in my system. Now till this is being done, let me show you the important updates that Claude has released for Claude Code users. So if I go to this and type in Claude Remote Control, and this was released only a few days back. This enables you to use Claude Code and enable sessions using your mobile device, which means that if I have prompted Claude Code to create a landing page for me, and then I can type in this particular command, which is Claude Remote Control, and then it will give me a QR. I can simply scan that QR and then use that or continue that session inside my Claude app in my mobile, which means that I can prompt it to make changes from my mobile itself. This is one of the major updates in Claude Code. We all saw how OpenClaw or Moldbot was in the news because of this remote control feature. And now Claude has also launched it, which means that in the future you don't have to code from your systems, but you can directly use your mobile applications or any other devices. Apart from this, another very important update is Claude Security Scan. Now, if you are a developer, this is very useful for you, which means that Claude Code can now scan your complete code base and find vulnerabilities. It scans your code base, finds outdated packages, and even updates them, which is a game changer for the developer industry. And you can also use it to review PRs on GitHub. Now, if you are a non-technical person, don't worry, these are just normal day-to-day work that developers do. But the only thing is, this remote control and Claude security feature is only available on the Max plan for now. But I think they will eventually roll it out on the Pro plan as well. And now you can see that the Claude Code is now in my terminal. I can simply type in or conversate with Claude inside this, or I can even type in or ask it to create something for me. For example, create a landing page or refer to my particular section of files and create something on top of it. One of the major use cases that we use Claude Code for converting our heavy data files into dashboards. Now, apart from this, a very interesting feature inside Claude Code is connecting your MCP server. So if you don't know, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. This enables your AI agent or Claude to connect with external AI tools like Figma or even any other application. So if I type in /MCP, it says no MCP servers found. But I'll also show you how you can add an MCP server. and we have already uploaded a detailed tutorial on this. Feel free to check it out. So if I type in /mcp, and these are all the MCP servers created by Claude itself. You have Canva, Gmail, Google Calendar, Notion, NPI, or even Slack. So all these MCPs are already connected, but if you want to connect your MCP account, you can directly go to the Claude app. On the settings, choose connectors and then search for Figma. Click on browse connectors and then type in Figma. And then you get an option to connect your Figma account and then click on install. By using this, you'll be able to connect your Figma MCP server with your Claude Code. And then you'll be able to convert those designs into code using this MCP server. And this is a complete game changer for front-end developers. I can click on configure and it says these are all the tools required. You can also open this dev mode MCP server and all. And now if you don't want to use your terminal, you can directly go back and inside Claude Code, create a new session and type in use the Figma MCP server and convert this design into code. But then you'll have to paste your Figma design and then follow some steps on Figma itself. And from your Figma account, you can pick any design. For example, this pricing component that we found on the community page. Choose your design, go to dev mode MCP server, and on the right side, you can see you get an option to copy this code and then use it into your MCP server. I'll go back to my Claude Code and then paste this file. I'll click on desktop one day and then click on send. And now Claude is asking me for searching MCP registry. I'll click on allow once. And now this will use Figma MCP to convert your design into coding files. Now apart from this, Claude is also available on external applications like PowerPoint, Excel, and even Slack, which enables you to increase your productivity and execution time using Claude. So if I go to my browser and open my Excel file, you can see that I get an option to use Claude. You can simply add this Claude by clicking on this add-ins option and then authenticating your account using Claude. I can simply click on this Claude and on the right side you can see that I get an option to use Claude. And now I'll have to do a login for my Claude account. I'll click on authorize and then it gives me these following options. These are some onboarding questions that you'll have to fill and then click on next. So these are some suggestions that Claude offers inside Excel. Let's click on this build financial models and then click on send. They've also doubled usage for Claude in PowerPoint and Excel until March 19. So feel free to test it out. And now you have to watch how well does Claude perform inside Excel. And now it's first asking me the following questions. A specific public company, I'll say 100 million. I'll use bull, base, and bear. It's 8 to 12% and much more. Now this is only one of the examples that you can use in Excel. But if you have your data set already, you can also connect it and then use Claude to make sense out of that data or even convert it into insights and much more. Now it's asking for my permission. I'll click on always allow and it has started executing. And on the left side, if you see all the sheets, you have the same model, you have sensitivity and output as well as assumptions. So it has already created sheets for us. Now it's creating the data inside those sheets. And now we can see that on the left side, we have started getting the outputs. Now till this is being executed, let me show you how you can access Claude inside PowerPoint. So I'll go to PowerPoint and then I'll click on create new presentation. And it's the same as in Excel. I get a Claude add-on. I'll click on this Claude and then I'll say create a presentation on latest AI trends and news. Let's say create only 5 pages. And now Claude will use its own skills to create a presentation inside Microsoft. Now this is a game changer for everybody who work on these Microsoft applications. And if I go back to my Excel, you can see that on the right side we are getting our research done. On the left side we are getting our data filled in. Now apart from this, you can also use Claude inside your Slack only. So if I go to Claude again and then inside my connectors, I can select Slack and then connect my Slack account, which means I can ask Claude directly inside my Slack to do a research on me and then give me a report or something inside Slack only. So this is how you access Claude inside your applications and use skills, connectors, and even plugins to increase your productivity. Apart from this, you can also connect your health data with Claude using these connectors. So if I click on browse connectors, I can simply type in health and I get all my apps that uses my health data, which means that you can use Claude for your health analysis as well. And Claude Code is also supported inside your IDEs like VS Code or Cursor that you can directly use while working on your code base. So this is how you use all the latest features of Claude inside Claude and in external applications. Now over to Ansh.
I'd like to remind everyone that all of these tools are currently at their latest worst. People think that jobs are going away, whereas in reality, they are getting redefined. And instead of worrying about AI eating jobs and creating unemployment, you folks need to worry about being unemployable. And these tools are not perfect yet, they make tons of mistakes. What you need to do is start learning them while they are making mistakes. Because 6 months from now, every single company in the world is going to expect you to be hands on with these tools. And that is the reason why we are creating these tutorials left, right, and center. The world is moving too fast. For a very long time, we had humans create AI, and even then, people were complaining that the world is moving too quickly. But now, AI has started to create AI. Claude founders themselves are stating that Claude Cowork has been partially created by Claude Code itself, which is mind blowing. Let me know in the comments section if you want more such tutorials, because without your support, we cannot sustain the channel. So make sure you like this video, click on the subscribe button and show us support. I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This was your instructor Ansh Mehra, and you were learning from the Cutting Edge School.